And this is called the investigative dashboard. You know, I mean, I worked here with journalists, with your colleagues, for the past few days, and what I noticed was, and I noticed this in many other countries, because I work with journalists in Southeast Asia, in South America, in many, many countries. And one point where everybody stops in their investigative work when they're investigating especially high-level corruption in the government is offshore companies. It's companies that are based in offshore havens. And these can be companies in the Cayman Islands, these can be companies in many, many places. Cyprus, Seychelles Islands, many, many places. And the idea is that this work shouldn't stop there, because okay, you investigate and you find out, okay, this auction was won, this bid was won by this company, but the company is in an offshore haven, and I can't track down who's the owner of this company. And many times that company is actually owned by someone in the government who got a kickback, and so on. So the investigative dashboard is something that tries to assist this type of work and tries to further this type of work. The investigative dashboard is first of all a research desk. We have hired people who are experts into researching databases, and when I'm saying databases, I'm talking about a list of them. So lots of these places are not free of charge, so you have to pay money for access. Through our researchers, you have access to a network of journalists, local journalists as well, that can supply you with this data, and our guys also have paid access to lots of these databases. So the idea of this research desk, it's basically a global research desk. If you need data about the company that you found here in Georgia, you know, being active in any kind of field, a company that just won a bid, you know, a company that was involved in some wrongdoings, but you can't find out who are the persons behind it, you can address a request to the research desk, and our guys are going to try to find out more about it through lots of these databases. How we did, we just had quite a large series of investigations into the offshore world. We were curious, who are these guys who are establishing offshore companies in Eastern Europe? And we found out there are only 5 of them that are establishing companies for everybody. And what we did was we checked from their Facebook to their LinkedIn to all their social networks to see who are their friends. We also did quite a bit of what you'd say undercover work. We approached them. We approached, for instance, this company formation agent, this lawyer. We approached him in August. And we established with him companies, pretending that we are businessmen. He established for us layers of companies. He established for us companies in the Seychelles Islands, in Cyprus, somewhere in Africa. So he established like a few such enterprises for us. And what we've done was. How much did he charge? Did he charge anything? Yes, he charged us a lot, but we didn't pay him because we only went for that step when he invoiced us. So he established the companies and then he invoiced us, and we were supposed to pay. We didn't get to pay because he was put in jail. Anyway, so he was not arrested for our reporting, but he was arrested because he was actually involved in creating such schemes for lots of crook guys in various countries, and he was part of a network that was involved in establishing companies for criminals all over the world. And the basis of this network, the headquarters are in Auckland, in New Zealand, and in the tiny island of Vanuatu. So, and these guys, you know, they established, for instance, there was a case when a plane that was filled with weapons was flying from North Korea to Iran, but it had to refuel in Thailand. And someone from a foreign intelligence agency got word that that plane is actually full of weapons, you know, and it is illegal to ship from North Korea to Iran weapons. And so they caught these guys, you know, the pilot, you know, who was flying the plane and all this, and they seized these weapons. And then they looked, okay, so who is actually organizing this? And they found that it's a company that is based in Auckland as well. And they found out that the single shareholder of this company was a woman called Lu Zhang. Lu Zhang, she moved from China to New Zealand. She's very poor, and she actually works in Auckland in selling burgers. So she was the one who organized all this on paper, of course, on paper. We managed, to find out who are the real owners of this business. But this is the same group that operates in Eastern Europe. It's the same group that, for instance, this group also organized vast money laundering operations for cartels, for drug cartels in Mexico. They laundered billions and billions of dollars. Actually, some of the actions of these groups led to the fall of a huge bank in the U.S. That was bought now by Wells Fargo. Anyway, so you have all these interests, that you can map if you have access to lots of databases. Because we had access first, we kept on hearing about this lawyer who establishes companies for everybody, and then we approached him and we established companies with him, and he trusted us. And when he invoiced us, on those invoices you have to put a stamp, names of company that it's invoicing you, and that company was the company from Auckland. So this is how we got to see that the link, and then we researched some databases, and we found out that actually Lu Zhang, the woman that was behind the transport between North Korea and Iran, actually owned lots of companies in Romania. Of course, it was just on paper. Now, because this guy was arrested, there's a court case right now, and in the court case you have lots of documents, and part of these documents were all his bank records for 10 years. Now, what those prove is something amazing, because if you couldn't connect, who in the government established companies with him before by looking, because you always run into proxies, bank records proved that this guy from the government paid in the account of this guy, for forming the company, and this guy who's a criminal paid in the account of this guy. So all the names were there, whoever paid ever in his account for the past 10 years. So this is a different way to approach this, So you tackle this from various sides, and then you find in the end, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.